Hey guys, just a quick update before I dive right in. Sorry for the delay on my psychic video series. I've been meaning to get the next one out, but I've been under the weather. I've been sick since Thanksgiving. I'm doing okay. I'm getting over it, but if my voice kind of goes out in this video, you know why. I'm not heavily editing this one. I'm just going to put it out there. But I got this video from someone called Sensitive Atheist, and I'll put the link in the description, but basically she was asking, what is the incentive to forgive someone as an atheist? Like, why, if we don't believe in God and we don't believe that, you know, he's going to forgive us or give us some type of blessing for forgiving others, you know, what's our incentive to forgive? And I wanted to answer that because, like, I've seen a lot of people who have lived very resentful lives, who have lived lives seeking revenge for something, or who've just been gone to their grave bitter. And it's not mentally healthy. You know, if you want to have a life where you're positive and optimistic and, you know, future oriented, and you're not just looking at things that people have done to you and holding a grudge about it, and, you know, that doesn't hurt them. The only person that holding a grudge hurts is you, because a lot of times people don't even know that you're holding a grudge towards them. They don't know. They're going on living their lives, and maybe they've hurt you, and maybe they know it, maybe they don't. But if you forgive them or you don't, they're completely unaware. They're clueless about that. So that is a burden that you're carrying. If you're angry at someone, it's very much, I'm not saying just forgive and forget. Like, yeah, if someone's hurt you, be cautious with that relationship in the future. Don't just, you know, open yourself up to be hurt again. But that said, if you're just frustrated and angry all the time, and, you know, you're unable to get over this, that's going to plague you. That's going to haunt you. It's going to stir up anxiety whenever you're around similar people. You're going to be kind of a bitter, angry person, even when you're around people who don't hurt you. It'll be harder to make friends. It'll be harder to connect with people. It'll be harder to open up and have healthy relationships from then on, because you won't be able to form a connection, like a trust-based connection, because you're always thinking that someone is going to hurt you and someone is going to betray your trust. And you have to find ways to be vulnerable. And I get, you know, you have to be cautious and, you know, go about this in a way where people aren't going to, you know, break your heart again, or they're not going to hurt you again, or do things that, you know, betray your trust. But at the same time, while, you know, having certain kind of healthy walls in place, go into things a little bit slower, but find ways to forgive, because you want to move forward. You want to have a clear mind. You want to get it off your chest and not be living a life of resentment and anger and bitterness, because that is, to me, how, you know, I've had people who have hurt me. You know, I had a really rough, abusive marriage before that I left. And there's a lot of things that I could be resentful about, that I could be angry about. And for a while I was, but I don't want to live under that cloud. I don't want to live a life of resentment and anger and bitterness. I want to, you know, let that burden fall off my shoulders, forgive them, and move on. Now, I'm not going to go and, you know, move back into that situation with that same person. I'm not going to, you know, I've cut certain people out of my life who have hurt me, who are a source of negativity, but I don't resent them in the way that I think a lot of times people do. Like, it's not a healthy way to go about your life. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is there was an event that happened recently in San Antonio, Texas, where a man named Scott Smith, some of you may know him. He was one of the co-hosts of the Recovering from Religion podcast. And I had met him briefly at ReasonCon, but I'd also been on his podcast, but I didn't know him that well. But this is kind of a tragic story where I don't know all the details. I'm not gonna, you know, drum up, you know, fake information for drama. What I do know is that he was a former military veteran. He was suffering from PTSD, and that he was going through a divorce process. And apparently he shot and killed his wife and then himself, and he left behind 3 orphan daughters. And I cannot imagine what it would be like to be in their shoes. I can't imagine what it would be like to lose both of your parents at such a young age. I'm sure that their world is completely torn apart by this. I didn't know, any of his daughters personally, but I can only imagine how heart-wrenching and horrible it would be to be going through something like this. So I know that a lot of people in the atheist activist community, I know the Thinking Atheist podcast, Seth Andrews, I know Aaron Ra, I know a bunch of others have gotten together and put together a fundraiser, and or they've been promoting a fundraiser that I'm going to link to as well, but it's basically to raise money for the girls. It's verified. I talked to Anthony Magnabosco. The funds are being collected by their uncle. He's talked with the grandparents. He's in close contact with them to make sure that the funds are going to the girls who lost their parents. But this is a way, a lot of times people will say, like, why won't, you say, we should get rid of religious organizations, but, now how are atheist organizations going to step in and fill the void when people need that help from the community? And this is just one way that we can step in and help out some orphans in need. So I'm going to put the link below to that. I can't begin to think how it must feel, what they're going through. But if you're able to pitch in, it's Christmas season, if you're able to throw a few bucks towards the fundraiser, that would be amazing. Thank you guys for everything, and I'll try to get my my next psychic video out here in the next few days. So if I'm able to focus and stay healthy enough to put it out. But I'm rambling now, but thank you guys, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. Have a happy holiday.